Your pain was never ordinary, it was sacred. Do you realize that? The intensity of your trials was not a punishment, but a divine classroom. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every loss you endured was God training your spirit for heights others could never reach. He allowed you to taste pain so you could carry compassion. He allowed rejection so you could walk with authority. He allowed loneliness so you could learn to hear His voice above all others. Think about it. How else could you have developed the depth of empathy you carry now? How else could you stand in front of broken souls and actually feel what they feel? That's why your spirit is magnetic. People sense that you understand their wounds in a way no one else can. You carry healing in your scars. God never wastes suffering. Look back for a moment. Haven't your darkest seasons taught you the sharpest lessons? When they left you, didn't you find God closer than ever? When everything collapsed, wasn't it His unseen hand that lifted you? What the enemy meant for destruction became the very foundation of your strength. That's the paradox of the chosen ones. Your pain is not just personal, it's prophetic. And here's the mystery, finally revealed. Your suffering was a divine exchange. With every tear, God was planting seeds of wisdom. With every disappointment, He was birthing endurance. With every betrayal, He was positioning you for tables you couldn't see yet. The world only saw your pain, but heaven saw your preparation. Chosen one, hear me clearly, your story is shifting. The same pain that once humiliated you will soon elevate you. The same wounds that once isolated you will become proof of your calling. The very people who mocked your suffering will stand in awe of your victory. This isn't just motivational talk, it's spiritual reality. Your pain carried purpose all along, and now that purpose is about to manifest before the world. If this is speaking to your spirit, don't just scroll comment 777 below and claim it as your confirmation. And once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to those who stand with this channel. Whether through super thanks or simply by listening with an open heart, you are helping spread light in a dark world. Stay close, because in the next moments we're going to go even deeper into why the chosen ones cannot escape pain because their destiny demands it. God's chosen ones. The mystery of your pain finally explained. God's chosen ones often walk through life, carrying a silent awareness that they are set apart, marked by a difference they cannot hide, and sometimes cannot explain. While others seem to blend easily into the patterns of society, the chosen find themselves walking against the grain, not because they desire rebellion, but because heaven itself has engraved a mission into their souls. This uniqueness is both a crown and a cross. Scripture whispers this truth in 1 Peter 2-9. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, reminding you that being distinct is not a flaw, but the very evidence of divine selection. Yet, how many nights have you lain awake asking why your path feels lonelier, sharper, and heavier than most? Could it be that the weight you carry is not punishment, but preparation? And when the silence of your struggle feels unbearable, do you realize it is shaping you into someone unshakable? The mystery is that what isolates you is the very thing God uses to identify you. Their mission is larger than life, stretching beyond personal comfort into cosmic responsibility. The prophet Jeremiah heard this echo when God told him in Jeremiah 1-5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This is why your perception is sharper, your sensitivity deeper, You're in a radar tuned to truths others dismiss. You catch glimpses through dreams and visions, the spirit tugging your intuition into chambers that others cannot enter. But what happens when those sacred senses make you misunderstood, ridiculed, or even rejected by those closest to you? Is it possible that their rejection is the training ground for your resilience? The very misunderstanding you endure becomes the filter that strengthens your faith. Without this sacred difference, how could you carry what ordinary souls cannot? History gives us proof. Saint Teresa of Avila, a Spanish mystic and reformer, was accused of madness because of her visions. Yet today she is revered as one of the greatest spiritual voices of the Church. She once wrote, "Christ has no body now on earth but yours," a line that resounds like a holy symphony of purpose. Are your struggles, then, not the very sign that God has entrusted His body, His mission, His compassion to you, and when the world mocks your difference? Is it not echoing the same misunderstanding Christ Himself endured? For He said in John 15:18, "If the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you." If saints and the Savior Himself walked through suspicion and ridicule, why should you expect the chosen path to be free of it? The accusation is not evidence of failure, but of divine resemblance. The more the world resists your light, the clearer the proof that you are carrying His fire. And in the realm of sacred music, the hymn, "Be Still, My Soul," set to Sibelius's Finlandia, breathes through history with lines that remind the weary, "Leave to thy God to order and provide. In every change He faithful will remain." Just as the hymn suggests, the chosen must learn to rest in the symphony of God's unseen movements, trusting that every dissonant note in their pain will resolve into harmony. Do you see how what seemed like chaos is quietly being woven into divine melody? What if every discordant season in your life is a necessary note in heaven's masterpiece, just as a conductor knows when to pause, when to rise, when to fall? God is orchestrating the timing of your journey. Pain, when seen through eternity's score, is no longer chaos, it is rhythm and preparation for the crescendo of glory. In the end, being chosen means embracing both the fire and the fragrance, both the trial and the triumph. Psalm 34:19 assures, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all." Your distinctiveness is not a curse, but a compass. Your suffering is not random, but revelatory. And your tears are not wasted. They are watering seeds of a harvest that will shake nations. Proverbs 14:11 declares, "The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish." Which destiny does your pain align you with, destruction or flourishing? When you see clearly that every tear is counted, every scar is recorded, and every ache is purposeful, then pain no longer owns you, it empowers you. The mystery is solved when you realize your suffering is not meaningless. It is heaven's investment in your future crown. So rise, chosen one. Do not shrink back from the peculiar path set before you. Do not despise the mystery of your pain, for it is the crucible forging your eternal crown. Stand tall, because the world has yet to witness the glory that will burst forth from your scars. The moment you accept that your pain is not proof of abandonment, but proof of calling, you walk into unstoppable authority. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are the ink God uses to write your testimony. And now, the time has come for you to step out of the shadows of suffering into the radiance of destiny. God's chosen ones experience the world in dimensions that stretch far beyond the ordinary. Their hearts are wired to feel more deeply. Their minds are tuned to perceive truths hidden from others, and their spirits compelled to carry burdens heavier than most could bear. But such heightened sensitivity is not without cost. It means walking into rooms where they feel the weight of silence others ignore, bearing unspoken grief that no one else can name, and seeing cracks in the walls of life where others only see smooth surfaces. Psalm 34:18 reminds us, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." If God draws near to the crushed, then is it not clear why chosen ones often find themselves placed where pain is greatest? Could it be that your very sorrow is not weakness but divine assignment? What if the depth of your suffering is the very evidence of your depth of calling? And the ache in your soul is proof that heaven has entrusted you with something eternal. Imagine a family as a great structure, not of stone, but of living souls. And at the heart of this structure lies a pillar, silent, steady, unseen, yet vital. If the pillar falls, the entire house trembles. If it stands firm, the foundation endures through storms. Chosen ones are placed as these pillars, hidden anchors in the chaos of family struggles, absorbing tension, standing guard, and holding spiritual weight on behalf of everyone else. Isaiah 58:12 declares, "You will be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets with dwellings." But what happens when this pillar grows weary? What happens when you feel the weight pressing so hard against you that your knees shake and your soul cries for relief? Is it possible that the very strength you think you lack is being supplied by the one who placed you there? And could it be that your endurance today is building a shelter for generations yet unborn? A sanctuary that will outlast your lifetime? Nature itself gives us parallels. The redwood tree, one of the tallest in creation, does not stand by sinking roots deep into the earth. Instead, it intertwines its roots with the trees around it, forming a living network that keeps entire forests standing through centuries of storms. In the same way, chosen ones are not left to bear their role alone. They are interconnected with heaven's strength and sustained by divine covenant, even when human hands fail to support them. And as John 15:5 reminds us, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit." Are you beginning to realize that your endurance is not about personal strength, but about supernatural connection? If the redwood can endure centuries by leaning on others, then surely your life, rooted in Christ, can withstand every storm and still rise higher. Yet there is also a warning written into history. Those who resist their calling to uphold truth inevitably collapse under the weight of their own pride. Take, for example, King Saul of Israel, who was anointed to lead and protect his people, but allowed jealousy and disobedience to corrode his role as a pillar. In the end, his kingdom crumbled, and his life ended in despair on the battlefield. His downfall is a sobering echo of Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. If the chosen pillar abandons its post, the entire house suffers. Does this not make clear why your role is fiercely contested by both heaven and hell? And if history shows us anything, it is that neglecting divine responsibility always carries a cost far greater than the price of obedience. And still, the chosen endure. They are the ones who intercede in prayer while others sleep, who carry secret wounds so their families can walk free, who shine as lamps in rooms where darkness had long prevailed. Galatians 6-9 gives hope. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Your tears become mortar, your prayers become beams, and your steadfastness becomes the light that guides your loved ones out of confusion and into clarity. But in your heart, do you sense that all this pain is building something larger than you, that your private battles are securing generational victories? And is it not powerful to know that your hidden faithfulness today may one day be the very testimony that rescues your children's children? In the end, to be chosen as a pillar is both a privilege and a burden, a hidden assignment that only eternity will fully reveal. The mystery of your pain is this: while you feel like a fragile support, you are in truth a divine cornerstone. Ephesians 2:20 proclaim, Christ Jesus himself is the chief cornerstone. If he is the cornerstone, then your role as a pillar connects directly to him, drawing strength from the eternal foundation. Your role may break you, but it will never destroy you, because the one who upholds the universe is upholding you. Your fragility becomes his opportunity to demonstrate power, and your weakness becomes the stage for his glory to be displayed. So rise, chosen pillar. Do not shrink from the weight you carry, for it is proof of your divine place in the structure of destiny. Do not fear the cracks that appear, for God himself is sealing them with grace. Your family, your community, your nation stand taller because you refuse to fall. And when history records the story of your life, it will not remember the pressure you bore, but the unshakable strength with which you stood. The world may never understand the pain behind your quiet endurance, but heaven will shout your name as one who stood when all else was shaking. God's chosen ones often carry a weight that words can barely describe. It is not just the responsibility of guiding their families, it is the unseen assignment of influencing generations yet to come. This is why the hand of God does not rest lightly upon them. Their very existence becomes a battleground where unseen forces contend, and their hearts are stretched like bridges that must hold the weight of many. Jesus warned in Matthew 10:36, "A man's enemies will be the members of his own household." Does it not sting when the very ones you love the most cannot recognize the gift within you? Could it be that the rejection you face at home is the refining fire that makes your calling indestructible? The paradox deepens when you realize that the lack of validation is itself validation from heaven, that only the truly chosen are refined in such silence. Your tears become invisible ink with which God writes his purposes across generations. The paradox is sharp. Chosen ones are honored in heaven, yet dishonored on earth. They are entrusted with treasures of wisdom, but rarely applauded by the ones they serve. John 4:44 affirms this mystery. For Jesus himself had testified that a prophet has no honor in his own hometown, and so, like a cornerstone hidden deep beneath a cathedral, they are unseen yet essential. The architecture of their lives is a holy design. Their souls, the load-bearing walls of God's eternal temple. In the language of physics, they become like tensile cables in a suspension bridge, absorbing pressure, redistributing weight, carrying others across chasms they themselves never chose to enter. But when the load grows heavy, is there not a temptation to collapse when applause is absent? Do you not wonder if your sacrifices have been in vain? And yet, is this not proof that your service is for God alone, not for the fleeting recognition of men? The very silence of appreciation is the crucible where true humility is forged. Yet history and scripture whisper the same truth. God uses the hidden to humble the proud. Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, later declared in Genesis 50:20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Chosen ones often face opposition, not because they are weak, but because they are carrying something that threatens darkness itself. And the irony is sharp. The very gift that equips them to save others is the same gift that draws attacks. Have you felt that the greater your light shines, the stronger the resistance becomes? Does your inner gift sometimes feel more like a target than a blessing? And yet, is it not in that tension where your gift is sharpened like a sword? The betrayal and misunderstanding become whetstones that refine your edge for battles you do not yet see. Examples are not only found in history, but in everyday lives. Maria, a nurse from a small town, once shared that while she cared for hundreds of patients selflessly, her own family dismissed her efforts as ordinary work. Yet, years later, when her village endured a severe epidemic, it was her resilience, knowledge, and prayers that saved countless lives. Suddenly, the gift once overlooked became the very force that preserved generations. Does this not show that hidden impact is often the truest kind? And that recognition delayed is not recognition denied? And perhaps the beauty lies here. Maria never sought applause, but her faithful service turned into a legacy written on the lives she preserved. How many chosen ones today are living in this same tension, quietly saving lives while being quietly dismissed? Could it be that God Himself is their only audience, and His recognition is far weightier than human applause? And as 2 Corinthians 4:17 reminds us, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." The trials, the misunderstandings, the silent tears, they are not wasted. They are vibrations of spiritual frequency, resonating like unseen sound waves that move walls and break chains. In psychological terms, resilience is forged through repeated resistance. Just as muscles only grow when placed under tension, could it be that the invisible pressure on your life is the very gymnasium of the soul, sculpting you into a vessel of strength for generations to come? And is it not comforting to know that every unseen struggle is actually training you for eternal impact? You are being tuned like an instrument, prepared to release a resonance that only heaven could compose. The truth is clear. The chosen are marked by contradiction, celebrated in heaven, resisted on earth, empowered within, dismissed without. Yet this is the mystery of their assignment. What others misjudge as weakness is heaven's blueprint for unshakable authority. Psalm 118 contra 22 declares, "The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." Your rejection is not the end of your story. It is the signature of God on your destiny. And if the master builder uses rejection as the very seal of authenticity, then is not every wound a hidden credential? The overlooked are being quietly positioned as the unshakable, and the discarded are being secretly fashioned into foundations. So rise, chosen one. Do not be deceived by the silence of recognition or the sting of rejection. Your weight is proof of your worth. Your scars are the architecture of your testimony. Your pain is the blueprint of future deliverance. And when the world underestimates you, heaven writes your name in bold upon the scroll of eternity. Stand tall, for you were never meant to blend in. You were built to hold the generations together. And in your rising, others will rise. For your endurance is not just survival, it is prophecy. The chosen ones often find themselves walking a road that feels far more treacherous than others could imagine. Misunderstood, disliked, and sometimes openly persecuted. They discover early that their journey is not meant to be simple. The path of destiny is paved with hurdles. and opposition seems to come from every direction. Yet this resistance is not random, it is evidence of the magnitude of light they carry within. Christ himself declared in John 16:33, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." If the Savior's path was marked with hostility, is it any wonder that your life as a chosen one echoes with the same trials? Could it be that the hatred directed at you is not because of who you are, but because of what heaven has placed inside you? And when you face these storms, is it not heaven whispering that your very life is dangerous to the kingdom of darkness? Your trials are not punishments but coronations in disguise. Life always appears smoother for those who drift without purpose. They face fewer storms because they do not threaten the darkness. They stir no waters because they carry no living fire within. But when someone awakens to their God-given destiny, when they step boldly into the calling to impact the earth, that is when the tides shift. Suddenly, the air grows thicker, the steps heavier, and every decision feels as though it carries eternal weight. Paul reminded the early church in 2 Timothy 3:12. Everyone who wants to live a godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted. If this is true, then perhaps the intensity of your opposition is not proof of failure, but confirmation that you are on the right path. Do you not sense that the very chaos you face is a compass pointing you toward destiny? And is it not possible that what feels like resistance is actually divine resistance training, preparing you for a crown that others cannot carry? History reveals this pattern over and over again. Vincent van Gogh, one of the most celebrated artists of all time, was misunderstood in his own era, ridiculed, dismissed, and often left in despair. He once wrote, "Normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow on it." His words echo the reality of the chosen. Comfort rarely produces greatness, but hardship births beauty eternal. Is your suffering not shaping colors in your soul that the world will one day marvel at? And when rejection comes, does it not simply prove that your vision stretches beyond what others are yet able to see? For Van Gogh, rejection became the soil where legacy bloomed. For you, it may be the furnace, forging a testimony generations will never forget. Greatness always begins where comfort ends. The scriptures tell us of Joseph, who was hated by his brothers precisely because of his dreams. Genesis 37:20 records their bitter words, "Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits. Then we will see what will become of his dreams." Yet the very dream they despised became the salvation of nations. In the same way, the opposition you face is not a sign of weakness, but a signal of promise. Could it be that your enemies are unintentionally validating your destiny? Is their resistance not the very confirmation that God's hand rests upon you? The pit may feel like abandonment, but in truth, it is a passageway into purpose. The dungeon may feel like death, but it is actually the doorway into destiny. And through the centuries, sacred music has carried this truth like a river of strength. In Handel's Oratorio Messiah, the chorus lifts with fiery conviction, "And he shall reign forever and ever." These words, echoing Revelation 11:15, remind us that no matter how fierce the storm, the final word belongs to God's sovereignty. Every attack, every rejection, every stumbling block is swallowed by his eternal reign. Does this not stir hope within you that your present struggle is only a fragment of a far greater story? And is it not powerful to know that while the world sees your battle, heaven already sees your victory written in eternity's score? The storm will pass, but his reign will remain. In the end, The chosen path is never straightforward. It is narrow, steep, and at times unbearably lonely. Yet Psalm 34:19 gives us courage. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Afflictions may mark your journey, but deliverance marks your destiny. The mystery is that persecution is not the end, it is the process by which heaven reveals your strength. Life will test you because heaven has trusted you. And when you rise from these trials, the crown you carry will not just shine for yourself. It will illuminate the way for countless others. What once felt like unbearable pain will be remembered as the very soil of your victory. So rise, chosen one. Refuse to bow beneath the weight of misunderstanding or the sting of rejection. Refuse to surrender when opposition swells like a flood. Stand unshaken, for the fire you carry is not ordinary, it is divine. And when the world tries to bury you, remember this: seeds only grow after they are hidden in the dark. You are destined not for defeat, but for a harvest that will shake the earth. And when you rise, you will rise not only for yourself, but as a beacon that proves to all that God's chosen cannot be silenced. For the chosen ones, life does not unfold like a gentle stroll, but becomes a relentless battleground where every step forward is contested. Each decision feels as though it is met with invisible resistance. Every victory shadowed by a new wave of opposition. Yet this constant warfare is not random, it is evidence. It is confirmation that their lives are marked for divine purpose. As James 1:12 proclaims, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised." Could it be that the very trials you despise are secretly crowning you with eternal honor? And when your progress is fought at every turn, does it not reveal how threatening your destiny is to the kingdom of darkness? Your struggles are the courtroom in which heaven testifies of your worth. And each battle you endure becomes proof that God has trusted you with more than ordinary strength. The battlefield that wears you down is the same ground where your crown is being forged. The enemy wastes no arrows on empty targets. Those who drift without impact rarely feel the fire of resistance. But the chosen, those who carry the seeds of transformation, become prime targets because their potential to shift atmospheres is immense. That is why their struggles are not signs of failure, but badges of significance. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Ephesians 6:12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world." If the resistance you feel is constant, is it not because the enemy has calculated the weight of your calling? And when battles rage, do they not reveal that your life has already pierced through the shadows with light? This is why every rejection has meaning. Every closed door has purpose. Every sleepless night becomes a rehearsal for your victory. Opposition is not a curse, it is confirmation stamped across your destiny. Nature itself testifies to this reality. The salmon, in its journey to reproduce, swims upstream against violent currents, leaping over rocks and waterfalls while predators wait at every turn. Its struggle is fierce, but its struggle is also proof of its purpose. Life is multiplied because of its persistence. In the same way, chosen ones push against currents of resistance, not because they are lost, but because they are carriers of legacy. Isaiah 43:2 speaks directly to this kind of battle. "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you." Could it be that your upstream fight is not proof of weakness, but proof of sacred strength flowing within you? Just as the salmon's resistance secures the survival of generations, So too, your struggle ensures that blessings will flow to those who come after you. What feels like exhaustion to you may be the very energy that feeds nations tomorrow. But if we look at the pages of history, we also see what happens when opposition is met with compromise rather than endurance. King Herod, intoxicated by power and threatened by the prophecy of a newborn king, ordered the massacre of innocent children. His paranoia became his downfall, and his name was forever etched in history as a tyrant consumed by fear. Proverbs 11:21 assures us, "Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free." Does this not reveal the stark contrast? While the wicked crumble under the weight of their schemes, the chosen are refined and raised to shine brighter. Herod's desperation built monuments of cruelty that collapsed into dust. But the child he feared rose to become the eternal king. When enemies conspire against you, are they not unknowingly building the stage for God's glory to be revealed through you? And so, chosen ones must learn to see their scars differently. Every wound is a marker of battles survived. Every trial, a silent testimony that they are still standing. Romans 8:37 gives this triumphant assurance. No, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. The struggles you face are not random punishments. They are divine signatures confirming your authority. Have you realized that your tears are watering seeds of victory, and your wounds are writing chapters of testimony that generations will read? The battlefield is not your graveyard, it is the proving ground of your greatness. And when you finally stand victorious, every scar will become a badge of honor, declaring, "I was tried, but I was not broken." Your enemies will see your endurance, and it will become the loudest sermon they cannot deny. So rise, chosen warrior. Do not shrink back when the fight intensifies, for the weight of your opposition is the evidence of your impact. Do not interpret resistance as rejection, but as recognition that you are a vessel heaven trusts. Stand in the fire, for it is shaping you into gold. Step onto the battlefield, for every strike against you is proof that you matter. The world will know you not by the ease of your path, but by the power of your endurance. And when you rise, the very forces that tried to destroy you will testify that God's chosen cannot be broken. Let your scars speak louder than your words, and let your rising silence every doubt. The enemy moves like a strategic intruder. A thief does not waste time on an empty house, and neither does darkness expend its forces on lives that will not disrupt its plans. For those marked by destiny, life becomes a contested field where every step forward attracts resistance, because what they carry disturbs spiritual complacency. Romans 8:18 frames this. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. If suffering signals forthcoming glory, might the pushback you feel now be the atmosphere in which greatness is gestating? Does the intensity of opposition reveal the scale of what you are meant to change? The very targeting you endure proves you are not incidental but instrumental in history's design. Trials operate like diagnostic stress tests in an engineered system. The chosen soul functions as a load-bearing column within the social structure, subjected to compressive stress that reveals hidden weaknesses and activates compensatory strength. Scripture names this laboratory of refinement. Matthew 5:10 declares, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven," teaching that persecution accompanies kingdom-level vocation. When pressure raises the frequency of your heart, watch how resonance forms, inner circuits align. Neuroplastic pathways rewire toward perseverance. And psychological conditioning moves from mere endurance to disciplined authority. Have you felt your internal frequency shift in ways that no casual observer can detect? Could it be that your nervous system is being trained to hold a higher harmonic so you can carry louder truth? History and the Gospels place the greatest example at the center. Jesus bore the harshest opposition because his mission threatened the whole dark order. John 16:33 rings with that sobering promise. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. That pattern repeats when a human life becomes a beacon. Rejection and assault are not random cruelty, but the reaction of a system defending its status quo. If your path is steep with obstacles, might those obstacles be the proof that light has chosen you as an instrument to fracture old systems? How long will you allow the temporary roar of resistance to drown the whisper of your assignment? Real people embody that hidden economy of sacrifice and legacy. Dan, a night shift school janitor in a provincial town, speaks plainly. I sweep when others sleep. Parents did not praise me. But the kids who grew up under my steady presence learned to keep their heads up. That steady presence, unremarked by many, became the crucible where futures were kept from collapse. Hebrews 12:2 points to the posture of enduring through a purpose. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross. Could it be that the small Cayman, unnoticed constancies in your life are the seeds of a generational harvest? Theology and practical science converge to explain the paradox. Suffering is both signal and sculptor. 1 Peter 4:12 instructs, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal which comes upon you to test you, as though some strange thing were happening to you. These tests reveal what a simple life would never show: hidden load-bearing capacity, emergent resilience, and the capacity to carry covenantal weight. When the adversary focuses fire on you, remember that what is being proven is your capacity to be an architectural support in God's vaulted plan, a heavenly vault whose keystone is placed by trials and whose arches will span generations. Will you allow the proving process to break you? Or will you permit it to set you into the exact shape required for destiny? This is not consolation for passivity, it is a call to active endurance. Hebrews 12:2 and James 1:12 together form an imperative and a promise: endure the proving. Receive the crown. The pathway of the chosen is necessary and costly, but that cost purchases capacity to govern, to heal, to build. Rise with uncompromised courage. The world's assault is the calibration of your authority. Your suffering is a necessary path, because what you carry will one day carry multitudes. Stand up now, claim the weight placed upon you as the sign of sacred appointment, and let your persistence become the instrument by which generations are held fast. The chosen carry the greatest light and the deepest potential for change. And it is precisely because of this that their paths are marked with hardship. The trials you face are not random, they are tailored tests forged to reveal the weight of your destiny. When the fire rages, remember Luke 12:48. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. Do your struggles not prove that heaven has entrusted you with a mantle heavier than most? Could it be that the very storms surrounding you are not curses but confirmations? A proof that your calling has already disturbed the foundations of darkness? If suffering surrounds you, it is because destiny within you is stirring the earth. And in those moments when pain tempts you to withdraw, is it not a reminder that the greater the flame, the stronger the resistance of the wind? Your scars are not disqualifications, they are sacred signatures of a mission too great to be ordinary. Hardship is not meant to dishearten you, but to awaken you. The principle of responsibility woven into your soul means that blessings and burdens arrive hand in hand. James 1-2-3 exhorts, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. When resistance multiplies, is it not sharpening your endurance? When doors close, do they not redirect you toward the ones destined to open? And when you feel pressed beyond measure, is this not the proof that God believes you can carry what others cannot?" The paradox is clear. Your hardship is not punishment, but preparation. Not rejection, but refinement. Each sleepless night is the rehearsal of your authority. And each disappointment becomes the stepping stone where your spirit learns to rise higher. Without the burden, there can be no breakthrough. Without the storm, there can be no sunrise. History echoes this truth through voices that transcended despair. The Italian opera composer Giuseppe Verdi, though ridiculed in his youth and dismissed as mediocre, once declared, "In the most difficult moments, that is when the music begins to sing within me." His life is testimony that rejection can be the very soil where eternal symphonies are born. In the same way, could your suffering be the sheet music of heaven, waiting for time to reveal its melody? As Romans 8:28 assures, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." If all things are working, then even your tears are instruments in God's unseen orchestra. And is it not breathtaking that what feels like silence today may soon resound as music that shifts atmospheres? Every loss is not wasted. It becomes a hidden note in the grand symphony of destiny, a harmony only heaven could compose. Sacred art has long whispered this mystery. In the hymn, "Abide with me," the line swells, "Through cloud and sunshine, Lord, abide with me." This is the language of chosen ones, the presence of God in both storm and calm, in both triumph and trial. Your life becomes a cathedral where every bruise is a stained glass window refracting divine light. Do you see how your journey, though painted with sorrow, glows with sacred color? Psalm 30:5 reassures, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." Could it be that your midnight tears are already announcing a dawn that will shake generations awake? The great architects of Europe built cathedrals with vaults designed to catch echoes of choirs. In the same way, your soul is being shaped to carry the resonance of heaven's voice. The higher the ceiling of your suffering, the louder the song of your victory will ring. Suffering for the chosen is not evidence of straying, but evidence of alignment. It is the seal that marks those heaven has trusted with impact. 2 Corinthians 4:17 explains, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." The battles you endure are not detours but milestones on the way to fulfillment. And is it not powerful to know that every burden you bear today is shaping authority you will carry tomorrow? Your hardships are bricks in the eternal architecture of your mission. Every strike of opposition chisels you like marble for a statue destined to inspire nations. Every season of silence is the resting interval before a triumphant crescendo. And when you rise from it, you will no longer be fragile. You will be unshakable, set in place like the cornerstone of a divine plan. So, rise. Chosen one, do not curse the furnace that purifies you, for it is the very place where your gold is revealed. Do not despise the tears that fall, for they are watering the garden of your future harvest. Stand with unshaken resolve, because your pain is not the evidence of abandonment, it is the undeniable signature of destiny. Lift your head, for you were never designed to remain bowed. Your struggle is sacred. Your endurance is prophecy, and your rising will be the anthem that silences every doubt. And when you stand, you will prove to the world that pain was never your prison, but the pathway to your crown. Every hardship you face is not an obstacle meant to destroy you, but a signpost pointing towards something significant. Resistance is the mirror reflecting the importance of your mission. James 1:12 declares, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised." If the crown awaits only those who endure, could your battles be proof that heaven is already fitting you for royalty? And when the storms come from every side, do they not serve as confirmation that your very presence is a threat to darkness? The challenges you face are not detours but catalysts, sparks igniting the engine of your transformation. This journey is not merely about enduring pain, but about being reshaped by it into someone capable of carrying divine assignment. Romans 5:3-4 reminds us, "We glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." What if the hope you carry is not just for yourself, but for generations after you? What if your transformation is the very map others will follow out of despair? The truth is clear. Chosen ones are not trained for survival, but prepared for leadership. Each trial chisels your soul into a vessel that can hold revelation without breaking. Do you not sense that your hardship is molding you into a sanctuary for others? A living testimony that pain can become purpose. In the language of nature, the pearl illustrates this mystery. Formed inside an oyster, it begins as an irritant, an intrusion that should have been rejected. Yet the oyster transforms that pain into beauty, layer upon layer, until the world beholds something priceless. In the same way, could your suffering be the irritant that God is coating with grace until it becomes the jewel of your destiny? Isaiah 61:3 promises to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning. Your ashes are not the end, they are the raw material of glory. Just as the ocean pressures shape pearls, so the weight of your trials is shaping treasures the world has not yet seen. History gives us sobering warnings through the downfall of those who chose destruction over transformation. Consider Judas Iscariot, who walked beside the light, yet surrendered to greed. His betrayal did not stop Christ's mission. Instead, it sealed his own shame. Acts 1:18 recounts his tragic end, his very life unraveling under the weight of his choices. Does this not reveal that when trials come, they separate those refined into glory from those consumed by corruption? Could it be that the opposition you endure is the dividing line, proving that you are not destined for collapse but for crowning? The enemy sought to silence you, but the fire is revealing your authenticity. Your breakthrough, then, is not small, it is monumental. It is not just about your success, but about unlocking doors for others. Revelation 3:8 carries Christ's words, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. When you rise carrying keys that will free captives, heal wounds, and shift atmospheres." Have you considered that your endurance is the seedbed of another's miracle? That your scars are already becoming the language of healing for someone else's soul? This is why your journey matters. It stretches far beyond you. The chosen are not called only to survive. They are summoned to become gateways through which heaven touches earth. So rise now. Refuse to bow beneath the illusion that pain has the final word. Refuse to shrink back when your destiny demands courage. Stand as one who knows that every scar is sacred. Every battle is proof. Every tear is prophecy. The suffering you endure is evidence, not of abandonment, but of alignment. And when you rise, you will not rise alone. You will carry multitudes in your shadow, opening doors they could never open without you. You are not broken. You are being built into a living key, forged by trial, destined to unlock destiny for the world. Your breakthrough is never just your own. It is a master key that unlocks doors not only for you but for countless lives connected to you. Every barrier you break becomes a precedent. Every chain you shatter leaves behind an open path for others to walk. As Jesus declared in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Does this not mean that your victories, however personal, they were always designed to shine outward like a beacon? When you overcome, is it not entire families, communities, and even generations after you who rise in the wake of your courage? The battle you thought was only for your survival is, in truth, a war fought for destinies you may never see. When a chosen one conquers financial hardship within their family, it is never just about escaping poverty. It is about rewriting the architecture of possibility, laying new foundations that generations will stand upon. Proverbs 13:22 reminds us, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." What if your breakthrough today is the seedbed of academic opportunity for a grandchild you will never meet? What if your ability to break one barrier in your bloodline becomes the reason hundreds after you never know the weight of that struggle? Your triumphs ripple outward like concentric waves in water, each circle touching lives further than your eye can see. And is it not true that the greater the wave, the greater the rock that first disturbed the stillness? To explain this, science offers us the metaphor of resonance. When a tuning fork vibrates at the right frequency, nearby objects begin to vibrate in harmony, amplifying the original sound. In the same way, when you rise into your divine frequency, others near you cannot help but resonate with that vibration of breakthrough. Isaiah 60:1 commands, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Could it be that your rising is the catalyst unlocking hidden potential in those around you? Could your perseverance be setting into motion frequencies of faith that awaken those who never thought they could overcome? Like the vaulted ceilings of a cathedral designed to echo choirs, your life amplifies heaven's sound so that others can hear freedom in places where silence once reigned. This truth is often reflected in ordinary lives, as Lanaya, a single mother working as a street vendor in a small town, once shared. "I sell every night so my daughter can sit in a classroom by day. My hands ache. But when I see her studying, I know my pain is not wasted. Her sacrifice broke a barrier her family had carried for generations, and her daughter became the first in the lineage to graduate university." Galatians 6:9 assure us, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Is this not proof that hidden battles of ordinary people are often the wombs of extraordinary futures? And does it not remind you that your private endurance may be birthing public testimonies? Your victories are never isolated. They are communal, generational, and prophetic. Each breakthrough is a key placed in your hand, but designed to unlock chains for others. Revelation 3:7 declares, "What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open." Could it be that your assignment is to hold doors open long enough for others to step through? And when you stand in that place of victory, will you not realize that your scars were the price paid for another's freedom? This is the weight of the chosen. Triumph is never just personal, it is generational. So rise, chosen one. Refuse to see your trials as solitary struggles. They are the blueprint of deliverance for many. Refuse to shrink under the illusion that your pain ends with you. It is the testimony heaven will multiply across generations. Stand now as the key, forged by fire, designed to unlock destinies waiting in silence. Your journey is the path, your scars are the signs, and your breakthrough is the door. And when you walk through it, you will not walk alone. You will carry multitudes into freedom with you. When a chosen one rises, doors that seemed forever sealed suddenly become accessible. Opportunities unfold like hidden corridors, and the cycle of prosperity begins. This transformation is never selfish. It stems from an inner drive to support, to nurture, and to uplift others. A divine impulse written into the very fabric of their soul. Galatians 6 contre 2 commande. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Could it be that the pressure on your shoulders is not punishment, but placement? Could the weight you feel be the proof that God has positioned you as the carrier of hope for your family and beyond? The chosen do not climb for themselves, they climb so that ropes can be lowered for others. Yet recognition as the chosen one within a family comes with its own set of piercing challenges. The expectations become heavy, the path grows narrow, and the responsibility can sometimes feel like a mountain pressing down on your chest. Isaiah 41:10 whispers encouragement, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you." But in the quiet hours of struggle, do you not question if you can truly endure? Do you not wonder if the very love that fuels you might also drain you? And yet, when others depend on your strength, surrender is not an option, because the well-being of many rests on your endurance. Your role is not optional, it is essential. History confirms that extraordinary weight often rests on extraordinary shoulders. The French nurse and social reformer Florence Nightingale, often called the Lady with the Lamp, revolutionized healthcare during the Crimean War. She once said, "I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse." Her resolve transformed suffering into a new era of healing. Is this not similar to the chosen's role in the family and community, turning chaos into order, despair into light? Luke 22:26 records Christ's words, "The greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves." Could your hidden sacrifices be the very pillars holding an entire structure from collapse? Even art and sacred music echo this truth. In Beethoven's Missa Solemnis, the haunting cry of Dona nobis pacem, grant us peace, rises through the tension of dissonance, as if pleading that suffering must somehow resolve into glory. Does your journey not resemble this same score, where the weight of discord eventually gives birth to harmony? Psalm 55:22 reassures, "Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken." Every sigh, every silent tear becomes part of a larger symphony, a piece that heaven itself is conducting. What feels unbearable now is being woven into eternal music. The path of the chosen is never easy. It is laced with sleepless nights, with expectations that seem unfair, with sacrifices that no one claps for. And yet, Romans 8:37 thunders. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Your fight is not just for yourself, it is for a lineage, for a legacy, for a future written long before you were born. Do you not see that giving up is never truly personal? To quit would be to abandon those who need your strength. To endure is to ignite futures waiting in the shadows. So rise, chosen one. Do not despise the heaviness of your calling, for it is the proof of your significance. Do not fear the weight, for it is heaven's confirmation that you were built for more. Lift your head and carry the mantle with holy defiance. The fire pressing you is forging unshakable steel. And when you rise, you will not rise alone. You will raise families, communities, and generations in your ascent. Stand now, because the future is waiting for you to unlock it. Your destiny hinges on your ability to persevere and triumph. For the path of the chosen is marked not by ease, but by endurance. The scars you carry are not blemishes, but battle marks, proving that you have stood where others fell. Isaiah 43:2-3 proclaims, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." Do your moments of fatigue not whisper that new strength is about to be birthed? When your soul feels pressed to the breaking point, is that not the very threshold where God shows his sustaining power? The weight you feel is not random. It is the divine signature that you are strong enough to bear what others cannot. Strength within you is greater than you often realize. The mantle of responsibility was not handed to you by mistake. It was entrusted because heaven saw in you an unparalleled spirit, a resilience born not of comfort, but of fire. 2 Corinthians 12:9 declares, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Have you not discovered that it is in your lowest moments that supernatural power rises strongest? Could the valleys you dread be the very workshops where God fashions your weapons? You are strong because weakness does not end you. It awakens a power beyond yourself. Nature illustrates this truth vividly. The bamboo, though slender, survives storms that uproot giant trees because it bends without breaking. Its strength is found not in rigidity, but in resilience. James 1-3 affirms this principle, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Is your suffering not stretching you in the same way, teaching you flexibility without surrender? Could your hardship be the storm proving that you are unbreakable, like bamboo? You were designed not to snap, but to sway and rise again when the winds cease. History warns us through those who shrank from their challenges. Emperor Commodus of Rome, intoxicated by vanity, inherited an empire but lacked the fortitude to lead it. Instead of embracing trials as opportunities to grow, he indulged in weakness and cruelty, and his reign ended in betrayal and assassination. Proverbs 24:10 speaks clearly. If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? Does this not reveal that shying away from challenges diminishes destiny itself? And when you face trials, are they not invitations to prove the opposite, that your spirit is forged of something Rome itself could not crush? Your struggles are not obstacles, but opportunities to demonstrate what has always been hidden within you. Romans 8:37. No. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Every hardship is a stage, every setback a platform, every battle a stage light on the resilience of your spirit. Could it be that the very weight you despise is actually training your hands for war and your fingers for battle? As Psalm 144:1 declares, The chosen are not ordinary. Their lives are demonstrations of heaven's strength in human form. So rise. Chosen one, do not shrink from the fire, for it was sent to reveal your gold. Do not retreat from the storm, for it was allowed to prove your wings. Stand as one who knows that trials are thrones in disguise, and scars are crowns waiting to be recognized. Lift your head, open your arms to the challenge, and let the world witness that the chosen cannot be defeated. Your perseverance is prophecy, your resilience is testimony, and your triumph will become the anthem that echoes through generations. The chance for change and progress could be delayed by generations if you retreat, which is why your role is pivotal. Your victory is not just for yourself, it is a key that unlocks doors for those who have not yet been born. Your success becomes a seed planted in the soil of history, destined to grow into forests of opportunity. In this sense, your breakthrough is not a private reward, but a public inheritance. Galatians 6-9 whispers with timeless certainty, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Do you not feel that your perseverance is already reshaping the timeline of your family and community? Could the sweat you shed today be the living bridge that generations after you will walk upon, as someone chosen for a higher purpose? Recognizing your true self is not an optional luxury. It is the cornerstone of your destiny. Like an architect who first envisions the blueprint before the cathedral rises, you must see beyond the visible scaffolding of pain into the unseen grandeur of purpose. The walls of your suffering are not prisons, they are pillars holding up the sanctuary of your calling. Ephesians 2:10 remind us, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them." When you look into the mirror, do you not glimpse both the frailty of flesh and the fire of eternity? Could it be that your truest identity lies not in what you endure, but in what those trials are carving you to become? The trials you endure are not merely random events, but precise instruments of refinement. In the language of physics, pressure is the force that transforms carbon into diamond. In the realm of the spirit, hardship is the pressure that reveals your incorruptible worth. Romans 5:3-4 declares, "We glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience, experience, and experience, hope." Are your afflictions not chisels, sculpting a monument that heaven itself has designed? Could the very tears you shed be the solvent dissolving illusions so that your true brilliance emerges? Your agony is not evidence of weakness. It is the resonant frequency by which God tunes your soul to the harmony of eternity. The pain associated with being chosen does not serve to weaken you, but to reveal the hidden infrastructure of your strength. Like the tension in a violin string that produces its richest sound, your suffering stretches you to release a melody that would otherwise remain silent. 2 Corinthians 4:17 gives courage, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Is it not true that your deepest wounds have already taught you lessons no classroom ever could? And when fire refines metal, does it not burn away dross to leave only purity? Your pain becomes an architecture of resilience, an inner cathedral whose pillars are forged by trials and whose stained glass windows shine brighter precisely because they were once shattered and remade. Could it be that what you once thought was breaking you was, in reality, tuning you to heaven's frequency so that your very life becomes a song of glory? This truth is echoed in the life of ordinary people. Clara, a humble seamstress from a forgotten town, once said, "Each stitch I make is a prayer for the ones who will wear it." Her quiet endurance, though unseen by the world, carried her family through hunger and hardship. Hebrews 12:1 captures her spirit perfectly. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. If a simple thread can carry the weight of prayer, how much more can your trials carry the blueprint of transformation for an entire generation? Clara's needle-pierced fabric, the way your faith pierces through despair, leaving behind a tapestry of hope. Does her story not whisper to you that greatness is hidden in small acts of faithfulness, and that the unseen sacrifices of today are the very foundations of tomorrow's miracles? Therefore rise. Chosen one. Do not mistake your pain for punishment. It is the sacred scaffolding upon which heaven builds a future no enemy can dismantle. Lift your head, embrace the weight, and walk forward with fire in your spirit. Your scars are not signals of defeat, but seals of destiny. Stand now as one who knows that your life is a bridge into tomorrow. The cry of your endurance will echo into eternity, and your victory will be remembered as the spark that lit 1,000 torches. Can you feel that the heavens themselves lean in to watch your next step? Because your rising is not just personal, it is prophetic. The world may try to erase your light, but every step you take forward writes history with fire, proving that chosen ones cannot be silenced. The depth of your resilience and power is not measured in the absence of suffering, but in how you rise through it. In this world, you will encounter wounds, betrayals, and moments of despair. But it is crucial to grasp that none of these were sent to halt your progress. They are furnaces designed to refine your soul into unbreakable steel. James 1:12 declares, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Can you sense that every blow against you was secretly shaping you for a greater crown? Could the tears you once thought were wasted actually be watering the roots of an unshakable destiny? Every scar becomes an inscription of endurance, a hidden script only heaven can fully read, testifying that you are not broken, you are becoming indestructible. Always stand firm as a foundational support, not just for yourself, but for your family, your community, and those in generations yet unborn. You are the pillar God placed at the center of a fragile house. And if you collapse, the whole structure risks falling. Yet your unyielding endurance is proof that divine hands uphold you. Isaiah 41:10 reminds, "Fear not, for I am with you, be not dismayed. For I am your God, I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Does this not reveal that your survival itself is already a prophecy? And if you are chosen to be the pillar, why doubt that heaven will reinforce you when the storm howls? Like the foundations of a cathedral built to endure centuries of weather, your hidden strength is not ornamental, it is structural, sustaining far more than what the eye can see. Your perseverance and victories will one day be remembered as songs of gratitude sung in households that would not have existed without your faith. Just as Joseph's trials led him from a pit to a palace, your hardships are molding you to feed multitudes, not just your own hunger. Genesis 50:20 reveals this mystery. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Is it not astonishing that the very betrayals meant to bury you became the soil where your legacy is planted? Could your deepest scars be the same marks by which others will one day find healing? In this paradox lies your divine brilliance. What others called weakness becomes the very fountain of strength for those who come after you. echoing into future generations like rivers springing from hidden mountains. History offers echoes of this truth. Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychiatrist who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps, once wrote that those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. His life became living evidence that meaning transforms suffering into endurance, and endurance into victory. In the same spirit, your trials carry a hidden why, an eternal blueprint etched by God Himself. Psalm 34-19 testifies, "The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. So why doubt your deliverance? When it is written that heaven is already orchestrating it, your pain becomes less terrifying when you realize it is not random chaos, but a precise chisel in the hands of the master sculptor. You are not being destroyed, you are being defined." Even the world of sacred art has long proclaimed this theme. Handel's Messiah, with its soaring chorus, lifts its voice to declare, "And he shall reign forever and ever." The music thunders, not as entertainment but as revelation. No darkness, however thick, can silence the chosen soul who endures. The harmony itself mirrors the structure of your journey, where dissonance eventually resolves into glory, and your life is a living symphony, where every painful note is destined to crescendo into triumph. Each moment of suffering adds a hidden instrument to the score, until the final performance reveals a masterpiece that could only have been birthed through fire. So when you wonder why your journey is fraught with suffering, remember that each battle is proof of your assignment, not evidence of abandonment. Kaksi Timothy Kaksi toista promises. If we endure, we will also reign with him. Rise, then, chosen one, and let no chain convince you that your wings were meant to stay folded. Lift your head, anchor your heart, and keep walking. For the fire that sought to consume you has only unveiled the radiance of who you truly are. Stand now as one who carries nations in your spirit, and let your endurance become the testimony that no power of darkness could silence. And when history looks back, it will not see the one who fell, it will see the one who stood, the one who endured, and the one who transformed suffering into eternal victory. Chosen ones, now that the mystery of your pain has been unraveled before your very eyes, do you see why your journey has been so different, so heavy, so sacred? The trials you have carried were never meant to destroy you. They were keys, chisels, and fires used by God to shape you into a vessel that could carry more than an ordinary life could ever endure. Every sleepless night, every silent tear, every rejection, every misunderstood moment was not evidence of your weakness, but of your divine assignment. And now, standing here, you must realize, your pain was not a curse, it was a prophecy. The scriptures remind us of this eternal truth. Romans 8:18 declares, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." That means the weight of your pain is directly proportional to the glory awaiting you. And in 2 Corinthians 4:17, Paul proclaims, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." If God Himself calls your afflictions light and momentary compared to the eternal outcome, then who are you to give up now? Isn't your very survival proof that you were never abandoned, only refined? Your pain has been a hidden classroom, teaching you what comfort could never teach. It has been the furnace that burns away illusions and reveals the indestructible spirit God placed inside you. Many will never understand why you smile after heartbreak, why you rise after being crushed, why you forgive when betrayal would have been enough to harden anyone else's heart. But that is the mystery explained. You are not like everyone else. You are chosen. And the chosen must carry a story that carries generations. Think about Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, and imprisoned unjustly. Yet Genesis 50-20 reveals the truth when Joseph said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Could it be that what others did to wound you has secretly been the very thing God is using to lift you? Could it be that your pain is not just your own, but the seedbed of salvation, healing, and hope for countless others you haven't even met yet? And when you feel like your heart can no longer endure, remember Hebrews 12:2, which urges us to fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Even Christ himself endured the deepest pain because there was joy set before him. If he endured for joy, then surely you can endure for the glory prepared for you. Your story, your scars, your survival are not meant to be hidden. They are meant to shine. They are the living testimony that when life should have buried you, you refused to stay down. And now, the chosen one, it is time to stop apologizing for the weight you carry, and instead stand in it, tall and unashamed, because this was never about you alone. This was about generations, about destinies, about lives that will be touched and transformed because you refused to quit. So here is the call: rise. Do not despise your pain. Embrace it as the evidence of your calling. Do not shrink from the scars. They are the very proof of your crown. And as you move forward, let this revelation burn within you. What tried to kill you has only revealed who you are. You are chosen, set apart, marked for greatness. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what God has ordained. Before we close, I want to speak directly to you. If this message has spoken to your soul, let it be known. Press that like button. Share this word with someone who desperately needs it. And comment 777 as a declaration that you receive this truth in your spirit. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel so you never miss the words heaven is sending to awaken you, strengthen you, and confirm your journey. To those who have supported through super thanks, I speak blessings over your generosity. It does not go unseen. And to those who simply give their time, their attention, and their prayers, I thank you just as deeply, because your presence here is a gift. This is not just content. This is a community of the chosen, rising together in strength, in fire, and in faith. Now, chosen ones, I release this final blessing over you. May your nights turn into mornings. May your scars turn into songs. May your pain turn into portals of glory. May every chain that has tried to bind you break before your next step. May the very mystery of your suffering now unveil itself as the stage for your divine breakthrough. And may the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Stand tall, chosen one. The mystery of your pain is no longer a riddle, it is your revelation. Now rise and walk in it.